Game report. Chuck Benson joins us now, and Coach, I don't really know how you sum this one up other than the fact that in overtime you go 9 for 11 from the floor, and you get a really gritty performance from a lot of kids that had to play a lot of minutes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that was that's by far our grittiest, as you said, gritty, our grittiest, just slugfest of the game this year that we came away with a W. Newberry's really good. I mean, I think they're an NCAA tournament type team. We've won down here in the past, but to come down here against them right now, and to perform with the toughness that our kids showed today, and to come up with a win, I'm almost speechless. I told them a lot, but I didn't know what to say to them. They sort of quiet to me because so many guys just made play after play after play. So to say I'm proud of our guys is an understatement, and there's too many guys. I mean, there's too many guys to give credit to in this one.
You look at the regulation period, you led for just 3:45 of regulation. And Jared Johnson probably had a really frustrating game. He fouls out in the game, but he comes through with a huge step-back three. Walk us through that final play and then what was said after that and kind of how that propelled you guys.
Well, it's funny because we came up, we had a little thing we were going to run there, bringing Charles Clark, who I thought stepped up there, had his by far his best performance of the season for Carson. And we had a sort of a misdirection window screen to bring him off that to make a shot, and I think Newberry sort of guarded that well. It just happened that the smaller kid was on Jared, and Jared obviously didn't like the action on the weak side of the floor and just decided to take the step back. Jared has proven himself to be a clutch performer, but he jumped there and made that thing on the road in a nasty environment and gave us life into overtime.
How about the overtime sessions? You basically play without a true ball handler with Clark and Bates out there having to control things, and then you have to, against the zone defense, put Carson, Sawyer, Josh, one of the three on the wing to try to get the ball inside, and they were all able to do it so well. I don't know how many turnovers you had in the overtime periods, but it didn't feel like you turned the basketball over very much, and you got a lot of good looks.
Well, after the first half, in the second half and the two overtimes, we had 13 turnovers. So, I mean, I think we really took care of the ball the second half and the two overtimes. But you're right. I mean, we were in a situation with Jared fouling after on the first possession of overtime. Charles Clark just played like a man. I mean, we played him out of position. He got the ball off the floor. Then, of course, we were having foul difficulties. We put Carson Brooks on the front of our zone, which he's never played before in his life, and did an outstanding job of containing the ball. Again, we asked guys today to do things that they weren't had not been asked to do prior. Doesn't mean they weren't prepared to do them, but they've not been asked to do them. And to see them step up like that just says volumes about them. And again, I think this is one of those kind of situations where we don't want to get too high, we don't want to get too low. But to tell you we're going to drive back to Tennessee tonight and celebrate on that bus would be the understatement of the 2015 year.
And how about the first overtime? Sawyer Williams' catch, and then the ability for him to drop step and put it in. I thought it hit the underside of the rim before it went through, but that play too, another guy that stepped up there late.
Yeah, Sawyer just, he's sort of a different kind of guy in terms of post play. He's rangy, he's a little awkward in his movements, but he's effective. And that's all that matters. None of that doesn't matter. Effectiveness matters, and he's ultra effective. I mean, you just look at him, he's 9 of 13 from the field for 22. Carson gets another double-double, 25 and 11. Charles Clark, 22 points, 9 boards. I mean, so many guys, man. I can't say enough. Josh Rogers sort of had a quiet, and then in that second half, in overtime, he stepped up and put 12 points on the board. So I'm mystified. I'm telling you, it's hard to make me speechless, and I'm truly mystified because everything that could be stacked against us was stacked against us, and yet our kids found a way to perform at a level that allowed them to win.
I'm sure your kids will say they could have played another 5 minutes, but I don't know how many sides could have played another 5 minutes out there.
Both were completely shot. I mean, completely shot. I don't know what Charles Clark played 42 minutes. Carson Brooks 35, Mason Bates 42, Sawyer Williams 44. Those are unnatural type minutes to play on the body. And for those guys, again, credit goes to Newberry because they are an outstanding team. Dave Davis is an outstanding coach. They have an unbelievably difficult and unique style. And those kids are conditioned in such a way, both mentally and physically, to perform like that all the time. Honestly, our kids aren't. We're more of a traditional type of program and team. But I thought today we showed that we were capable of doing that to the point we can get the win.